Kia ora, e te whānau. We're at the Trust Stadium, Waitakere in Tamaki Makaurau. Auckland is home to the New Zealand Rugby League Sky Sport Premiership women's competition. 4 zonal teams, 3 weeks of tournament play, and at Easter, a championship team will be crowned. Today, the Akarana Falcons face up to the Mid-Central Vipers. We do have a feast of rugby league lined up for you. Later on today, it is the under-20s that will continue. So settle in and enjoy this gorgeous afternoon of footy. Kiwi Ferns' Jules Newman has gratefully taken some time out of her busy schedule to join me for some kōrero here in commentary. And Jules, what are you expecting from today, and how relieved will these players be to get cracking?
I am so happy to be here. What I'm expecting today is to see some good footy, some sharp footy, some fast footy, and hopefully seeing all these new talent that I'm looking on the team sheets come through and shine today. And for Mid-Central today, we have Mania Poa sitting at fullback, played for Orcas last year, accompanied with Oliver out at wing, also a fellow Orcas player. She's new to the game but runs good lines, and I've heard she's had a good bit of pace on her. In the halves we have Tawny Burgess. She's extremely talented, good vision and great ball playing ability. We've got in the forwards Aggie Faraimore and Ricky Rawley starting props, both strong players in their positions, and Mele Cooper Cummings at loose forward, strong defender who always leaves her mark on the field, with their head coach Hake Hedawini.
Haki, you're up against last year's runners-up today. What shape are you in to tip them up?
Yeah, we're in good shape, mate. I think, being new comp and everything, we got as good a chance as any other team in the comp, mate. So, yeah, doors are open for anyone.
Now, there's no warm-up matches, none for you. How challenging is it to judge your form based on trainings alone?
It's been very challenging, especially because we come from, we're all spread out, so it's, it's been a big challenge really, mate, big challenge.
And finally, what style of play should we expect to see from your team today?
We're just going to move the ball around a bit, just get Auckland moving around the paddock, hopefully tire them out, and let some opportunities open up along the edge somewhere. Yeah.
Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Haki Hedawini there, hoping that they don't shy away and also stay in the grind. 10 debutants here for Akarana.
Yeah, we have some talented athletes taking the field today. Looking at the backs with Duplessis on the wing, not only making her debut, she's new to the game, came over from rugby union, strong runner and a set of wheels to boot. Experienced Akarana teammate in the centres, Ratima and Artai out in second row, an athletic player and also daughter to Kiwi Fern Charlene Artai, and Leishon Albert Jones in the halves, one of the most underrated players in the game. Former Māori Fern, extremely talented and will be one player to watch out for. In the forwards we have Kahu Cassidy, also captaining the squad today and making her debut, followed with Clementine Varia as their starting props, with the impact of Harata Butler, former Counties player, Kiwi Fern and Māori Fern, who will also be making a solid impact off the bench, with their head coach Steve Buckingham.
Last year's runners-up, you might be tagged as favourites for today's match. How does that sit with you?
Yeah, we sort of don't buy into that at all, Richard. It's the start of a new campaign for us, new team, new players, and today's our first game of this competition, so we'll just be looking to see where we're at and set the bar for ourselves to improve and move forward.
It's a big year for the Kiwi Ferns. What sort of an opportunity is this for players to stake a claim ahead of the World Cup?
Oh, massive for the ladies this year, and we've spoken about the opportunities for the ladies this year. You only have to look at the NRLW at the moment, a number of New Zealand players playing there as well. So yeah, great opportunity to put their hand up and stake a claim for a jersey. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I think there's some players in our team that can take that opportunity, but we'll see how they go.
And if you were feeling generous, who in your team would you warn the opposition to watch out for today?
Again, I'm probably not going to pick anyone out individually. I think there's a few players who can have a crack for that Kiwi Ferns jumper and take those opportunities. But again, for us, it's putting a stake in the sand today and just seeing how we go from there.
Nice, best of luck.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Steve Buckingham there, the coach of the Akarana Falcons, the referees, have a big job at hand today. Kevin Arken will be the man with the whistle. The touchies, Maxine Godaday and also Joseph Green. Perfect conditions for rugby league here this afternoon. Around 20 degrees, nice southerly breeze coming through at about 10 kilometres per hour. And on the right-hand side of your screens, heading from right to left are the Mid-Central Rugby League Vipers. Here come Akarana. Varia ran up really hard and first. The 31-year-old wanted the ball and she was hungry for it. Akarana will certainly like to make their intentions known nice and early in this Sky Sports Women's Premiership competition. Not shy to head out to the edges and testing the defence of the Vipers. From one side of the field to another, keeping the ball in hand. Great defence there from Mid-Central. That was Aggie Faraimore. Deciding to kick early and put the pressure to the opposition. So the Vipers get a chance here to pick the ball up, nice and clean. Good charge from the Vipers. The defence is up to it as well, but the referee, Kevin Arken, said, I didn't like that tackle so much, so the penalty goes towards the Vipers. Good start for both teams.
Yeah, really good start. You know, if we look at Akarana, they're small inside compared to the other three teams. But in saying that, they have always proven in the past that just because they're small, they are fit, they're strong, and they have the ability to make the opposition work. So it'll be good to see today.
Okay, so the Vipers with the ball in hand. They'll be looking to try and get into the opposition half to try and make some form of attack on the line. It's clean rugby league at the moment. A few fans have turned out for this women's premiership competition, which is good to see. The opening stages of this game is often where we can ascertain who'll be the orchestrator and who'll be taking control. At the moment, someone has to grab the ball. I think we'll play that one again, which is good. Who needs a penalty for that? That just slows things down. So here's the Vipers. That's Tawny Burgess, number 16, their halfback. A very experienced and a tremendous communicator there out on the pitch. One off play at the moment for the Vipers, trying to make some yards and trying to find out just how good this Akarana defence is. At the moment, the defenders are moving very quick off the line and putting loads of pressure on the Vipers, forcing them to go out wide. That's Saracen Oliver with the number 1 jersey playing on the wing here at the Trust Stadium this afternoon. A quick play the ball would come in handy. Not at this stage though. The referee said you knocked that one on, so we'll have a scrum. Tidy play from both sides. No points scored in the opening minutes of this clash. This competition is very, very good indeed for female rugby league players all over the country. An opportunity to shine. Let's see if we can pick up on that sneaky little knock on there, Jules. Hard to see. What do you expect from the scrum from Akarana at this stage?
I reckon what we'll see is that they'll do a quick play the ball out the back, and we will see some edge work.
Not shy
right
going
here.
right nice and early. Good to see.
Nice.
Through the hands, a little untidy, but not a knock on. Referee says Kerry Ratama, the 24-year-old, been playing rugby league for 5 years, didn't manage to hold it, so we'll call in a scrum. Unfortunate there. I was looking forward to showing something with the ball. That certainly wouldn't have been part of Steve Buckingham's plans.
No, if anyone that knows Bucky knows that he loves his deep sets, so I'm sure that the Akarana side will be expecting to keep Mid-Central in their 20 and making it hard for them to get out of their half.
Mid-Central in the black jerseys, running on your screens from right to left. Cut out pass nice and early. Great hands. That's Saracen Oliver playing on the wing. She can run. She can clip it. She's got some wheels. Someone will have to pull her down. It takes not one, but two of them. Tohala Liku was one of them. A very good defence there. So with a spring in their step are the Vipers. Here we go. What can they do? They challenge the defence and ask some questions of the blue and maroon side. Akarana under the pump at this stage. They decide to go left. Defence moves up nice and strong. Good structure on defence. No holes at the moment. No sense of urgency from the Vipers. Looking for a gap up the middle. The markers are there and answering the questions. Good tackle from Capri Piacor, the 20-year-old. Quick play the ball was needed. They decide to go right. Defence moves up quick and shut the ball down. Working as a team is Akarana. The Vipers with the ball, running out of tackles. Options will have to be made soon. Will they look for a kicker after this one? Keen to keep the ball alive. And here they come. Left foot boot. Who's chasing? It's as good as the... Very good perception from Akarana. Nice clean hands, and they'll form the counter-attack. Rowena Malaysia decided to take the bomb. She's very confident under the high ball.
Yeah, she sure is. She's a Richmond Roses sister, so it was good to see Ro take that high ball. She's really good. She's one of the senior players of Akarana.
Speak of senior players of Akarana, how about Leishon Albert-Jones at 24 years of age being the most experienced player out there?
Yeah, she's been playing since 14, Premier Women's League.
She's been playing for Akarana since she was 14 and been playing rugby league since she was 4.
Yeah. Started at Point Chev, but she saw the light and came to Richmond Roses for her premier seasons.
So that was the replay of the strip, and this is how the Vipers get the ball back. So once again, Akarana under the pump and defending, not playing to the script when it comes to Steve Buckingham's idea as the coach, but nothing in it after 6 minutes of play. Some directional play up the middle at the moment from the Vipers. It looks as though they're going to try and wear them down. We heard from Haki Hedawini, the coach of the Vipers, prior to the match. He said they need to stay in the grind and not be shy to match them up the middle.
You wanted to move the ball around, didn't he, and hope that opportunities opened up. But we can see that Tawny Burgess is really taking a lead in that half position, which is really good for the Vipers.
Vipers in the black jerseys trying to find their way through some sustainable defence. That's Paris Poole. Keep a look out for her. She likes to run and kick. It might be a bit heavy. Oh, it's set up nicely. Will they keep her in? Yes, they will. Now, there's one rule in rugby league I was told, that's never to pass in goal, but who would listen to me? Paid dividends there for Akarana. Were you passing goal, Jules? Not a passer in goal. Here come the Falcons. Try and wear them down, first of all, with a bit of percentage play. They need to think about some other options. They're not shy in going wide, and they like playing deep in the play. Scrappy play there from the number 22, Clementine Vardia, the 31-year-old. Should have held that, putting her side under pressure. And here come the Vipers, hoping to score first in this Sky Sport Women's Premiership. There's a gap, there's a hole. They shut it down pretty quickly. Nice running there from Kairos Kahui. She's got some pace. Wasn't a tidy play, the ball, but the referee, Kevin Ken, said it was even more untidy from the defenders. So the Vipers get another 6 chances to try and find their way over the line. Will they try and spread it wide or charge their way through the middle? Through the hands, Vipers calling out wide. The orchestrator at the moment seems to be Windle with the number 6. She likes playing that communication role, and that's Paris Poole, the number 9. Looking for an inside ball or someone to run off a shoulder and create something special. Who's going to do it? Not held, said the ref. Charging over the line is Aggie Faraimo. She gets the ball down, never tackled until you're tackled. Great perception from the Vipers.
Yeah, it really was. Like, looking at the way that they really hustled in that set, it just showed how much of a gap open in D for Akarana, and it was just a bit of a scrambled ball there, but they still managed to get over the line.
Yeah, Aggie plays for St George. She's also played for Norths and Hutt Old Boys. She's represented the Wellington Orcas. There's a lot of Wellington players in this mid-central team.
There is. There's actually quite a few that have been called in because they couldn't form a team. So it's been really good for the Vipers to be able to get some numbers in.
Yeah, her brother, Beretta Faraimo, he has played for the Warriors and the Parramatta Eels in the past. I think he's now playing for the Castleford Tigers in England. So she comes from great pedigree, does the try scorer. Now looking to the left-footed kicker to see whether or not she can add another 2 points. Great start from the Vipers. The flags go up. 9.5 minutes into this 35-minute half. And it is a goal off the back of a very impressive try, although the injuries seem to be creeping in for a couple of players. There is an area of concern right there for the Vipers. Tawny Burgess with an injury. But this is great perception, and there's a lesson learned here in rugby league about when you're tackled and when you're not.
Yeah, don't relax on defence.
Akarana there won't be pleased with the defence on the line goal. They'll have to improve that as this competition progresses. This is the first time that the Vipers have actually got together as a team. Even in training, not all the players have been able to turn up. They are represented by Taranaki and Manawatu. The Falcons represent several clubs from North Auckland, and they have 10 debutants, as you mentioned earlier, Jules. So plenty of new faces, but lots of experience there as well. And at the moment, they're on the back foot.
Yeah, they are. They really need to start putting their best boots forward, knowing she'll try and get her team, directing them around the pitch and just getting them to their attacking points. But at the moment, they're on defence, and let's see that they can keep them down in their 20.
And defensively, they've looked very strong throughout the opening 10 minutes of this clash. They'll have to maintain it, though, because the Vipers are hungry and they've come here with intention at Waitakere.
Yeah, we'll see that early onset of fatigue kicking in, you know, as just similar to yesterday. It's the first kick out for these girls since last year.
Plenty of work from Paris Paul, the number 9 from the Vipers. She's got great delivery and expect her to have an impact later on in this game as well. A tremendous touch player as well. That's where she gets her fitness from and her sleight of hand. So she'll be involved in plenty. So the Vipers go right. Moving up quick are a couple of Falcon defenders. Could have been caught napping there, but the ball didn't get out wide enough to create anything too special. Paul with the ball again. Looks to the left foot of Burgess. Goes nice and high. Let that one bounce and it might come back to haunt them. So the ball is still with the Vipers. 6 to go, says the referee. No rush at this stage, and the Falcons are struggling to get back on side. Vipers with the ball. Kahui, number 4. Pulls the distributor. Nice quick hands, but Goriogan couldn't hang on to the ball. So a chance for the Falcons to fight back and try and settle things a little. A penalty will definitely help.
Yes, and that was a good take from Artai.
So they get a breather here, the Falcons. They've been under the pump. The Vipers up 6-0, scoring in the opening 10 minutes of the match. Decide not to kick for the sideline. They're running it straight away. Interesting. Could have made a few more yards there, but we're hoping to test the talents and the defensive efforts of the Vipers. A second penalty in a row, and once again, no kick, just running. This time they're going up the middle. Plenty of players in support. Oh, good charge, Akarana.
See, this is fast footy. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Quick play the balls, support runs.
Fast rugby league, quick play the ball. Head out left or right. They might decide to go down their Maui side, the left side to Taha Maui. Let's see where it goes. Yes, they do. Quick hands from the Falcons. This is what we're used to. 10 debutants, so they don't know each other's game as well as what they did before the departing players, but they're focused heavily on creating something special. Great charge. Here come the Falcons. Decide to go down the short line. No kick, cut out, lovely pass. What a great ball. Excellent support play.
And that was just urgency on the ball, you know, attacking the line.
That was a sensational pass down the left-hand side. Looked like it was going wide. Looked wide, lovely and short. Exceptionally deceptive and fooled everyone out there.
Just coming down the left side, just a drop pass, cut through that hole. I love that line. That's the type of line that I would run.
And you run it very well, let me say as well, Jules Newman. We're very lucky to have a Kiwi Fern in commentary with us. You've had your time with the Akarana Falcons, so you know this side inside out, and you would have been very impressed with that pass from
Yeah,
Philippa
it was just
Smith.
really slick. I really liked that pass. I liked the line that she ran because it's not easy to actually run lines. They can actually be quite difficult. So she did really well there.
Leishon Albert-Jones there, the goal kicker as well. Had a chat with Leishon through the week. She's worked heavily on her conditioning over the summer period and the off-season. She's lost 8 kilograms in weight to make herself more mobile and to become more of an orchestrator out there. I asked her how you lose that weight. She said, you just eat salads, Lavina. That's all you eat.
That's something Leish would say.
That's not my kind of diet. Good to see the fans here at the Trust Stadium in Waitakere supporting this Sky Sport Women's Premiership League. Leishon Albert-Jones, the niece of Stacey Jones, and is a tremendous rugby league player in her own right. Comes from a very, very staunch rugby league whānau. And as you mentioned before, has been playing rugby league since she was 4 years of age.
Yeah, she is a rugby league kid, this one, and I really hope that she achieves all her accolades this year. I know she'll be gunning for a Kiwi Fern spot or even an NRLW contract, so she's been working really, really hard.
Strikes it well, looking to get it over the sticks. Flags do not go up, so Mid-Central leading Akarana 6-4, just close to 16 minutes into this opening clash. Get a replay of this magnificent try again. That ball from Philippa Smith was tremendous. She looked wide, went to the big ball, and the line was cut in well, wasn't it? Tatiana Fino. Returning to Point Chevalier, I think she might be. She loves that line of running. She's studying health science and couldn't get the 2 points as well. So this is a game. You are watching the NZRL Sky Sport Women's Premiership. The team in the black jerseys are the Mid-Central Rugby League Vipers, and they'll be kicking off to Akarana, the zonal team based in North Auckland. Let's see if they can keep the pressure on. Already a mistake, I think, from the Falcons.
Unlucky from Harata. She would have been really wanting to make an impact coming off the bench.
She's a Kiwi Fern. She debuted in 2020, did Harata Butler, 28 years of age. Speaks fluent Te Reo. Ka pai kōrero. Started, I think, playing in Sydney in 2013, represented New South Wales. There's a whole lot of experience, but at that stage couldn't hang on to the ball. Gives the Vipers an opportunity to push forward in this game. Not afraid to go wide are the Vipers, nice and early. So trying to expose some holes out wide in the Akarana defence. The defence will have to be up to it if they're going to shut them down. Plenty of runners, lots of opportunities. That time it was Melekupa Cummings. Plays for Pororua, another Wellington import in this Vipers lineup. Rawley looking after the ball. She's big, she's strong, she does like to protect that ball, doesn't like to make a mistake. Here they go, down the right side. How's the left edge of Akaranga? Answers the questions a little better this time. That was Nancy Sike. And a mistake right in front of the posts. They're the errors that you don't want, but as you mentioned before, Jules, it has a lot to do with fatigue 20 minutes into a match.
Yeah, exactly. But we've got to keep in mind, Mid-Central, they don't have a lot of experience in their side compared to Akarana. So we're expecting to see some mistakes coming up today.
Mistake-free footy, that's the way to winning a game, and very good defence. At the moment, there's a few errors creeping into both sides, but defensively, the sides have looked up to the mark. Let's take a look at that mistake one more time. Maybe they needed a runner a little closer to the ball, but I actually don't think Ricky Rawley was expecting that. I think she was going to be a decoy runner, but she found the ball close to her chest and then on the ground. Here come the Falcons. They want to get up the other end. Not finding their way through the middle so much, might decide to go wide or even perhaps leave it to Albert-Jones, maybe the 24-year-old, to kick early. The defence is up to the mark at the moment. That is Jones, the number 7. Nice little dummy. Great tackle from Windle from the Vipers. The defence has been very good from the 5'8", from the Mid-Central team. And quick hands will do it. Here they come. Ratama There was support, but she couldn't find it. That's okay. The ball is still with the Falcons. They'll go from the right-hand side, quick hands to the left. This will be a lovely high ball,
And
looking
that
for
chase.
some rain. Knocked on, I think, there from the Vipers. She might be offside. And referee Kevin Arkin says she was. Will they take a kick, go for the 2, or a quick tap? Quick tap it is.
Yep, don't relax on defence.
Nice work from Capri Paikor. She's playing in the jersey number 17, but is the hooker this afternoon for the Falcons. Another penalty, 2 in a row. This will test the defence of the Vipers. They go wide
they've
early.
got that open space out on the edge there. Just unfortunate.
They needed tidy hands for that one.
Yeah. One person I do want to see open up is Rolling, this number 2 on the edge here, the wing. She's got a set of wheels on her.
Rolling Duplessis, the 21-year-old from the Falcons. She can clip it. They can need to try and get the ball to her, though. Be good to see her with a bit of space. They're opting to go down the right side now. Look to be running around the back of a
Keeping it
player.
alive.
Got away with that. There's an overlap. There's a gap. Someone will make it over if the hand could hang on to the ball. Not that time for Kaya Rose Kahui. The intention was good. The execution was not there.
Yeah, I think that Ratima just couldn't quite catch that ball. It was right in front of her, but maybe she's just getting the jitters out of the way.
Yeah, Kerry Ratima, the 24-year-old. She's a great runner, has very, very impressive footwork and likes to run into space. So everything was working in her favour at that stage up until she coughed the pill.
Yeah.
So it was a knock-on, so the Vipers will get the feed in the scrum. The referee says you're breaking away a little bit too early. You might even see Cooper Cummings, the lock, pick it up, the number 13, and run with it. So they're going wide early. The defence moves up really quick. There would have been an overlap, but they managed to shut it down. Good stuff from Akarana. They have to work tremendously hard in defence at this stage of the game. This is when the legs are tired, the lactic acid is building up and the lungs are burning, but that's no excuse for not making a tackle.
We can see here that Vipers are really depending on Tawny Burgess to direct them around the field and get them into their green zone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that wipes it out.
Referee saw a high tackle there, shutting down on that is the NZRL and the referee system, which is good to see. No room in the game of rugby league for any head-high tackle, intentional or non-intentional. So another wonderful opportunities here for the Vipers. They'll take the kick to get some yards.
That was a pretty good kick from Bates.
Lots of yards, made about 30 metres there. And you did see the Vipers hungry for the ball whilst the Falcons walking back. A little staunch, a little laboured in their defensive effort. So they're looking tired, but having to make some tackles. Here come the Vipers with the ball. Deciding to go left, they find Kahui. Good defence up the middle. 3 defenders to shut it down, not shy in making sure Kahui doesn't take it any further. Paris Paul doing so tremendously well for us in that hooking role. She's there and thereabouts every single time they need her. Expect her to make a dart from dummy half as well to catch some of these players napping that are looking a little fatigued. From one side to the other. To Tahamato to the right now. And the defence is there. Great stuff.
But also, how good is Vipers at the moment? They're really running themselves around the paddock. And look at this. They're scoring in the corner.
Running play, sensational stuff. Took advantage of some defence that was tiring. It was nice and simple. Nothing too fancy from the Vipers. They fed it down the right-hand side, draw and pass. And eventually they found Saracen Oliver on the wing to cross for the try. Let's take another look at it. Paris Paul really quick, passes it to the right. Tawny Burgess, as you mentioned, has been heavily involved in the game. Caitlin Bates doesn't hang on to it for too long. And they find to Oliver. Impressive stuff from the Vipers.
Yeah, really impressive. A bit disappointing to see that Akarana are quite relaxed in their defence. I expect a little bit more from the experienced players because, you know, they may not have played for Akarana, but they are experienced in Premier Women's Rugby League.
Is it fair to say maybe Akarana could be looking a little complacent at this
Yeah,
stage?
I actually do believe that.
So Saracen Oliver scoring for the Vipers. She's in that wider Kiwi Ferns squad. It's quite a wide squad, the Kiwi Ferns squad. Caitlin Bates is going to kick for goal. That was impressive stuff from the Vipers going out wide. Bates will try and pop it over. I liked how unselfish she was with the ball to get the ball to Oliver on the try. So let's hope she can be rewarded with an extra 2 points. Strikes it well, heads for the sticks. The flags stay down across the face of the post that time for Caitlin Bates. But it was Oliver here that finished the try on the back of some quick hands from the Vipers.
Yeah, and that's all it was, just simple footy, out to the edge and then over the line. I think that we may have underestimated the Vipers today. They're the underdogs coming through with the goods.
Yeah, their coach, Haki Hedewini, said that they'd not even had a full training with all the players together. He said he'd like just to come out and be in the game and be competitive was a word he described and used. They're far more than competitive. They're at the moment leading this match against the more fancied Akarana Falcons. What can the Falcons do, do you think, Jules, to get themselves back into this game and to be more dominant?
Well, they've got the idea of getting it out to their backs. I think with their centre and wing, even their fullback, they really need to punch into the line so that they can break through the Akarana defence line.
Good kick from the Falcons. That's a great way of starting. And I think the Vipers might have touched it. So it'll be a play the ball here for the Falcons. Great opportunity here, 30 metres out from their line to try and strike back and assert some authority in the match. Mami has come on for Sike, ringing in the changes already for some of those fatigued players. So Nancy Sike, the 29-year-old, will get a spell. And Jenna Marmia has come on to try and inject something special. They need some form of magic. Great charge. 5 players to take down Harata Butler. So the defenders are in. There'll be some gaps out wide. Will they expose it early? Get it through the hands quick. And yes, the line is there. That is what we're used to seeing from Akarana. Great charge initially from Harata Butler to bring in 5 or 6 defenders. Next thing you know, Leishon Albert-Jones realises those are in close, and she directed play to get it out wide. That was great rugby league.
Yeah, it was. It was straight off that quick play the ball, but here we had Leishon just passed it over to Artai, then to Malaysia to finish.
We've seen some very unselfish play from several players.
And it's even
today.
great to see because if Artai and Malaysia are best friends.
Aww.
So it's good.
Yeah, Kaya Artai, her mum was or is Charlene Artai.
Yes,
yeah,
the former Kiwi friend. Yep.
Yeah, so she has great pedigree, does Artai. She was across the line. She could have scored
But
that.
very selfless, passed it to her mate, gave her the,
you
gave
that,
her
mate?
the try.
You do that?
I'd love to think I would.
So an opportunity for Leishon Albert-Jones to push an extra 2 points forward. She's had a massive impact on this game. You mentioned before she would direct play. She's the orchestrator. She's the one who's in charge of where it goes and what it's doing.
Yeah, she's got really good vision, Leish. She's one of those players that's always 2 to 3, maybe even 4 plays ahead.
Perfect conditions here at the Trust Stadium. You're watching live coverage of the Sport Women's Premiership. It's been a long time coming. There was no Premiership for some time. Struck it quite well, but not enough on it to get the extra points. Plenty of pressure on Albert-Jones to be the orchestrator and the commander of play and the communicator and also the goal kicker. But at the moment, Akarana trailing by 2 points. I love the quick hands from the Falcons. It's more their natural way of playing.
Yeah, it is. They want to play fast footy. And with Bucky, he likes sharp footy.
So 15 minutes remaining in the first half of this clash. Nothing in it, just 2 points. The Vipers leading the Akarana Falcons 10-8. But there has certainly been a change in momentum in this match. The Falcons dominating play over the last 10 minutes. They will receive the ball first. Unselfish play initially from Albert Cassidy. She doesn't want to take that one up. They'll be looking for some injection, I think, from Akarana Cassidy. She's on debut today. She is their captain. Gets a good rap from the assistant coach, Tash Davey. She said that she's got tremendous footwork. Not one of the biggest forwards going around, but heaps of power.
No, she's not, but she's really an elusive forward, and that's what you've got to really be these days. She's got good footwork, but at the same time, she plays for the Roses. She's an up-and-coming leader. She's developing well within our Roses squad, so it's a good opportunity for her to really step up as a leader.
Just 24 years of age, one of the many players actually that live in the Waikato and travel over 2 or 3 times a week to train with the Falcons. The Falcons on fire at the moment, targeting the left edge, decided to, for a short kick was Finor. The ball's still in play. Good chase work that time from Rolene Duplessis.
The option was there for Finor to do that grabber kick. I just think she just didn't quite clip it on her boot.
Good attacking play.
Well?
Yeah.
It would have gotten through. It would have been a good option, especially for Rolly to pick it up on the edge.
Plenty of attacking options, and displaying all of them at the moment are the Falcons. They're certainly on top of this game, although trailing by 2 points to the Vipers. So the Vipers will have to very hard in the next 15 minutes of this match. Their goal line defence will be asked questions of. They're looking slightly fatigued and struggling to get online and onside. So defence there might create some holes. And if the holes are there, the Falcons will use them. They decide to target up the middle first. Good charging run from Cassidy. We just gave her a wrap.
Yeah, they'll push right again, I reckon.
Options down the right-hand side. This is where they've been strong. Throws the dummy, looks for the line. The defence is up to it. Albert Jones draws in 4 defenders. This time they go left, not sticking with the middle. Charging through, good defence from the Vipers. That time compliments of Kaya Boyd. One-on-one tackle.
As you can see, they've got that open space on the left side. If they could get that quick play the ball.
They opt left. Good decision. Crunching tackle. Tawny Burgess, what she doesn't do with the ball, she can do with the shoulder. And that was outstanding play from the halfback from the Vipers, and gets the ball back. Some crunching defence we have seen throughout this game. Get to see this one again. The option was there to go down left. Smash. So the Falcons back in possession with the ball.
They will want to get out of here.
Seems to be a knock on, so the man in charge of the match, Kevin Arkin, decides to bring them back. It will be a Falcons feed.
This will be a try in the corner for sure.
Just trying to confirm that is Mania Poa, the captain, playing in the full back role. Expect to see more of her in the second half of this match. She's very much a second half player. But that was really intense defence from the Falcons, and to get the back on the back of some impressive tackling. So they get the ball. 10 metres out of the try line. Vipers having to defend again. Another set of 6.
It was a bit of a shame that Leishon couldn't let that ball go out the back.
She's drawing plenty of attention, is Leishon Jones. There's an overlap. One more pass could get it there. Decides to take the inside line, does Duplessis. She's all wrapped up by the Vipers. Charging over from dummy half. Referee says drop the ball over the line. There were a couple of Vipers players that thought to themselves, she dropped it over the line. There's more than one referee out there. There always is, Jules.
I'm usually one of them.
Kiwi Ferns, Jules Newman joining us here in commentary. Has also been affiliated with Akarana. Knows exactly how the club runs at a representative level. Lots of new faces for Akarana, and at this stage, with less than a minute to go at half-time, there'll be lots said, I'm assuming, Jules, from Steve Buckingham at half-time.
Yeah, Bucky will be wanting to tidy up those little one-percenters that seem to be coming on Akarana. Just in terms of like defence, they need to be faster in getting back on D, as well as, you know, don't turn away the ball. I see a lot of them that should know not to do that. So they're getting caught with their backs to the opposition. With their attack, it's looking pretty sharp at the moment, but it's just being able to execute.
So, less than 30 seconds remaining in the first half of this Sky Sport Women's Premiership clash. The Vipers in the dark jerseys up against the Falcons in blue. What can the Vipers create something special? Is there a magician out there that might want to go with a chip over the top or a deep kick and chase? Or try and expose some tiring defence up the middle? The defence is up to the task at the moment. Good stuff from the Falcons, moving up structurally in a line and not leaving too many holes either side of either players.
As we can see, Tawny Burgess again directing the girls.
This will be the last throw of the dice from the Vipers. Good kick. Will it sit up and bounce? The chase is there. Someone has to claim it. The Falcons will want to get rid of it. It's still in play. And finally, thanks to the boot of Koalaliko, they managed to kick the ball out. So half-time in this Women's Premiership clash. There's very little in this match. At the moment, it is Mid-Central leading 10 points to 8.
Oh my God.
Only one man can cause that reaction.
Hey! Hang on.
Alan Titchmarsh and his team are helping the everyday heroes.
This is how the celebrities live, not people like us.
Reshaping gardens and seeking inspiration wherever he can find it.
Well, you saw the weather forecast. You should have put something on.
Giving some tips and tricks along the way.
Hands up who wants a cup of tea. Oh, sorry.
Love Your Garden starts Wednesday, April 6 on Living.
Look at that.
Imagine having your house judged
Beautiful place. I want to go back. Can we go back?
No.
by your nosy neighbours.
We're going to get in so much trouble.
The new series that settles the age-old question...
You walk around naked. No one can see.
Whose home will win the title...
It looks absolutely grand in there.
...of the best house in town. Starts Monday, March 28 on Living.
Tomorrow's champions are inspired by today's, but they can only be what they can see. That's why Sky brings you more strength, more skill, more speed, more courage.
Oh my goodness.
And not just on the pitch, you'll see it behind the scenes, in front of the camera, and all over the game plan.
This is what we've been waiting for.
See the rise. See the potential. See history being made. See the possible.
Every product takes a different journey, but it always begins...
Righto. Well, I'd like to see how it's done.
Inside the factory.
Oh, there he goes.
From country estates to factory gates.
This is called the nodding donkey.
What a clever donkey.
Find out the secrets of how everyday items are really made.
And we're going to reveal just how they do it.
Inside the Factory. Starts Sunday, April 3 on Living.
Broncos, Cowboys, Sea Eagles, Bulldogs. Today, live on Sky Sport 4.
half-time in the Sky Sport Women's Premiership clash between the Mid-Central Vipers and the Akarana Falcons, and we have a game on our hands. Just 2 points in it. Plenty to be said from the coaches from both sides as they try and work out what's going right and what's going wrong out on the pitch. It was the Vipers that decided to make their intentions known nice and early. Within the opening 6 minutes of the match, they managed to barnstorm their way over the line thanks to Aggie Faraimo. And then the Falcons said, what you can do, we should be able to do better. I'm liking the quick hands from the Falcons. That's the message they've got from the coach. And that lovely ball we could see 1,000 times from Philippa Smith. Outstanding stuff. It's all about the support play. Vipers hit back one more time. They're targeting the left edge defence from the Falcons, and when the hands on the ball go really, really quick and the ball goes down to the right-hand side, they seem to come up with some points. Paris Paul been instrumental in getting great distribution nice and early. As a result of that, the backs are impressive and like the feed that they're getting. So looking pretty good out wide. Falcons waited until midway through the first half to make their intentions known, and what we have realised is when they have quick hands down the back line, that's when they seem to be able to score points, Jules.
Yeah, Akarana are doing really well at the moment, just in terms of getting that quick play the ball, but also executing their plays. It would just be nice to see just, I guess, the finishing on the left edge with Rolling, like just the catch, like as well as Ratima being able to punch into the line as a centre. You know, she is a strong player, and I've seen her and played alongside her, so I know that she has the capabilities of doing that. I think they need to sharpen up just a little bit on defence, though, getting a little bit too complacent.
Stick around, rugby league fans. Do not go anywhere. We have a game on our hands. Just 2 points in at Mid-Central leading Akarana. This game will be decided in the second half. See you on the other side of the break.
Time to feel the power. Let's go. Whoa, what a sight. It's the power of the Pacific. DHL Super Rugby Pacific, live on Sky Sport.
I'm here to make a proposal that's mutually beneficial.
Join Sky Broadband and get 12 months of Disney Plus on us. That's 12 months of this.
It's time to show them who I really am.
12 months of this.
You're a Hawkeye.
And maybe even 12 months of...
You're just as special as anyone else in this family.
That. So what are you waiting for? Go to skybroadband.co.nz and switch to Sky Broadband now.
It's tough enough.
I got it.
Bringing up children.
What is that? Transcendental meditation.
Right on.
But when you've got 8 of them...
About 4 of you were active. Yeah.
Calling it complicated...
I don't see how you ever remember the name.
...is an understatement.
The times are changing, Mr. Bradford. You might as well get used to it.
Ow. 8 is enough. Weekdays on Jones.
Here we go. We love this game.
ANZ Premiership Netball, live Sky Sport.
Season. Watch the Hungry Jacks NBL take it to the next level.
Sky Sport has the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup.
Absolutely brilliant.
Live on Sky Sport.
Indian Premier League, live on Sky Sport. Nation is taking it to the next level. Tonight, live on Sky Sport.
How good is that?
We are coming to you from the Trust Stadium in Tamaki Makoto's Waitakere. You are watching the Sky Sport Women's Premiership Rugby League in its finest form. I expect to be a few changes coming in already from some of these players. Jenna Mamia from the Falcons will be donning the number 5 jersey. Expect her to play an impact role, but on your screen, left to right, and the black tops are the mid-central Vipers. I am Lavina Good. I am here with Jules Newman, the Kiwi Fern, and let me tell you, there's some impressive rugby league going on here today, and we feel privileged to be watching it.
Yeah, we are. And just like given that the circumstances and the disruptions that all teams in this competition have had, it's really good that we can showcase some form of rugby league over the course of this weekend and the next month.
So an early penalty for the Vipers in the black jerseys. Paris Paul takes the quick tap and looks and calls out her forwards to come in and make some yards and try and push back this tenacious defence from the Falcons. Moving up very, very quick are the defenders, which is good to see early in the second half. They've obviously had the word from head coach Steve Buckingham to start the game aggressively in defence and try and force some errors from the Vipers. They've been very clinical so far, the Vipers, a makeshift team of sorts that haven't even had an opportunity to train as a full team yet. They came here with an expectation of trying to be competitive and find themselves leading the Falcons by 2 points. So kicking through, looking for a try to pick it up in the hands. Bad luck. Mania Poya there. Might have been Saracen Oliver with the number 1 on her top. It was a good opportunity. Great choice to make the kick.
Good vision there from her. She took an opportunity. Just unfortunately it wasn't been able to pull off. Interesting seeing Akarana on the back foot.
Under pressure already early in the game. Not in a position that they're used to is Akarana. You did mention at the start of the production that they have 10 debutants, but that was a lovely, nice little deft, quick foot from Saracen Oliver. She's already crossed the try line. Shame she couldn't pick it up in the hands. That would have certainly put tremendous pressure on Akaranga. They are within their own 20 now, looking to push the defenders back and make some inroads into this impressive defence. Falcons, a nice little dart there from their hooker. I think that was Capri Parko. She's been heavily involved as the number 17, playing the number 9 role. Expect her to do a lot in the second half for the Falcons. Good yards so far from the Falcons, setting themselves up nicely. Looking for better distribution. Quick hands seems to be the way. Big crunching tackle. Wasn't high, but certainly sent.
Roy Mata.
Great tackle. Cutting down at the legs. So the pressure now on the Vipers to try and keep the Falcons out. Goes for the big bomb. Likes that option, does Leishon.
Yeah, and look at that kick chase.
A kick is only as good as its chasers, and the chasers were there. So the option of the kick was good. This puts pressure on the Vipers not to make a mistake, and that defensive structure is outstanding from the Falcons. Watch them run up in a line together.
Yes, it's good to see that they're more connected in this half. See if they can keep them down in this area.
No way through at the moment for the Vipers. No way through up the middle. They might decide to go through the hands and see if they can expose something out wide. But at this stage, the Falcons, thanks to the young 19-year-old there, Melania Cairns, she's the youngest in the group from the Falcon, and she's tackling like a rugby league player that's been playing for many, many decades. Great stuff from the 19-year-old. So the Vipers decide to kick and get the ball out of their half. Here come the Falcons. Great one-on-one tackle. Never an easy one to make. That was good stuff from Koroniki Windle. Defence has been up to it, but they're starting to tire now. Looking for a quick play the ball. That's Capri Paiko. She's been impressive so far. Charging with the ball is Harata Butler. Every time she gets the ball in hand, she draws attention. and it takes a handful of defenders to take her down.
Yeah, she's definitely one of those referee players, though, as you can see.
Tawny Burgess there was the number 16 who went down, and also for the Vipers is Gotti Ogden. She's the number 12. So a few injuries creeping in. You mentioned during the break, Jules, that Tawny Burgess is doing so much work for the Vipers that if anything happens to her, they're in a lot of trouble. And I think that might be a commentator's curse right there, mate.
Yeah, right there. Unfortunately, I saw her earlier in the first half, and you know, she is a key player in the Vipers side. Even Paul, them two linked together, have been doing really well in getting the girls around the paddock. But I think if we end up, like I said earlier, with an injury, that could be a bit of a detriment to the Vipers side today.
You're glad to see Melania Cairns out there, the 19-year-old. What do you expect from her? She's a decent enough player.
Yeah, came from Auckland Vulcans. She played for Mount Albert. It'll be good to see her out on the field today.
And Jenna Marr also getting an opportunity.
Yeah, another Richmond Roses player. She is solid on defence and a great attacking player as well. So I'm really happy, I should say, in seeing her in the colours.
Takes a bit of strapping to keep someone out there that's been injured. There's a fair bit of strapping on that right leg of Tawny Burgess. But as you mentioned before, Jules, they need her out there. She is their playmaker, directing play. She's one of the most experienced players out there for the Vipers, and she's also an outstanding communicator. So she's their leader. Let's see if the Falcons have a set play they would like to expose now. Comes through Paiko. They decide to go down the left-hand side and overlap. The option was there. The pass was okay, but unfortunately, Tatiana Fino couldn't take the ball.
It just looked like she wasn't quite ready for that.
Yeah, the option was good. Looking for the short side, looking for the defenders to tire. The pass seemed okay, but Tatiana Fino was inclined to take it. The defenders push the Vipers back. The Vipers are getting the feed from the scrum just 10 metres off their line. So at the moment, early in the second stage of this match, it is all about the Falcons on attack. The Vipers are having to go out wide, and the defence is very, very fierce. There is a spark in the blue and maroon side at the moment. How good is that from Rolene Duplessis? That's inspirational.
Yes, it is. I rate this player. She's going to develop into a really good rugby league athlete the more time she spends on the field.
There's a history with netball as well, and I think she was meant to go to Japan to play in the sevens.
Yeah, she was. She actually, with the hit of COVID, she was unable to get over there, and then she turned it down to focus more on league.
Another player that travels from the Waikato is Rolene Duplessis. There's a few of them, but at the moment it is the Vipers looking for an opportunity out wide. Making the Akarana Falcons, the zonal team from north of Auckland, work very hard in defence. 10-8 at the moment to the Vipers. Yet to score in the second half, and a turnover for the Falcons.
Yeah, that was really good defence from Artai. She's been quite strong in that second row position today.
Kaya Artai, her mum Charlene, represented the Kiwi Fern. She'd love to follow in her footsteps. She's just 20 years of age, but has represented the Cook Islands in touch football. Is a very solid defender, is Artai, and she is certainly making an impact defensively on this game. So the Falcons with the ball, trying to score first in the second half of the Sky Sport Women's Premiership. Nice yards up the middle. Tremendous barnstorming run from Rowena Malasia. Look for more of that from the Falcons. They go the short side, falling off the tackles, and it became too easy for Kaya Artai, just as we gave her a rap.
Yes, and I expect nothing from Malaysia. You know, that's a glimpse of the talent that she brings to the Akarana side. And then we've got the link up with Leishon Jones and then Artai to finish.
Yeah, Malaysia in the number 18 jersey, charging her way middle to set the try up in the first place. Looked as though she might even potentially be able to go all the way, and then quick hands from the halfback Albert Jones and support play from Kaya Atai, who is only just 20 years of age. Such a bright spark for rugby league is that young woman right there, hoping to follow in Mama Bear's footsteps to represent the Kiwi Ferns at some stage. Very clever play from the Falcons, and it is on the back of some impressive defence in the early stages of the second half.
Looks like they've changed up their kicker. Into Fina, see if she's got the distance. Not quite.
The kicking game in rugby league will need some attention as we head towards the World Cup. It is an aspect of the game that needs to improve at a level where it's not just kicking for goal, but general kicking as well. We have seen it improve over the last half a decade, but it will have to take another step up. That's beautiful rugby league from the Falcons. Great ends. We've seen some great kicking from Albert Jones as a playmaker, and I guess we need to see some more from some other key players if that kicking game is going to dominate and help sides win. So you're watching the Sky Sport Women's Premiership Lead, brought to you by Sky Sport, Pertec, Mainstream, Steeden, CCL, BLK and WSL Productions. Thanks to the support of these major sponsors, you're able to watch the women's game of rugby league here in New Zealand develop. And developing it is. It is an evolving game for women. Since 2016, an extra of players participating are female. So things are looking rosy in terms of women's rugby league in New Zealand, and on show are some of that aren't competing in the NRLW. Here come the Falcons, Jules. What can they do? There's a spring in their step, and no surprise, Capri Parkour is the one that's going to charge all the way. No one can catch her. She is so fast. She pins it back, clips the legs, and charges for the try of the tournament so far.
I think that play speaks for itself. She just picked and go.
She has worked so hard this afternoon, has the 20-year-old law student, to make her intentions known, and she has been rewarded with a very impressive four-pointer. It was great insight from her initially to see the defenders napping here in the second half from the Vipers. She did a step to the right, there's a jig and a run, and there were no defenders in her sight that could catch her. Just got there over the line. The captain from the Vipers, Mania Poor, did her best to bring her down, but the glory there remains with the number 17 on the back of her jersey. How good has she played?
Yeah, she's playing really well today. But even just to capitalise on opportunities like this, these are the things that we get on the front foot. This is the stuff that we really encourage in players, is to look up, see opportunities and then take them.
So we saw a great run from Malacia in the last play, and an outstanding run that time from Paikor. So a tremendous goal kick as well from Tatiana Fino. She took offence to me saying that the women's game of kicking needs improving, but I think generally in rugby league, all kicking needs to be improved. Great darting run, low to the ground, explosive speed, tremendous strength, has a touch background, so tenacious, committed, and athletic. Asserting authority in the second half of this clash are the Akarana Falcons. They were trailing by 2 at the start of the half, but 2 quick tries in the opening stages has certainly put the pressure on the Vipers. What can the Vipers do to find their way back into this game?
At first, they need to have the ball to be able to do anything. They're being caught on defence quite a bit, just from silly little mistakes. So let's see if they can come back and attack.
They have been starved of possession, has the Vipers. They are tackling after tackle after tackle after set, and the holes are there and straight up the middle. This time it is Lavinia Tohalaliku. Did she make it all the way? It was a good crunching tackle. I think she got the ball down over the line. Referee says no try. The gaps are there in the middle and they're being exposed by the Falcons.
They are, and it just looked, staying on the push, being support runners, these are the things that Akarana are exposing and, again, capitalising on. It's just not quite sure if Tohala Leku was able to actually get it over the line, though, because that was a really good chase by Poor.
Yeah, the captain of the Vipers decided to go the ball and all tackle, which was her only option if she was going to shut down the try. She put her body on the line and wrapped herself around the ball and denied.
But what a good run, though, right?
Great run, outstanding run, very similar to what we saw from Piakor as well. So the gaps are there in the middle for the Vipers. They will have to shut them down defensively. Finally, they get the ball in hand.
Yeah, let's get out of this area, Vipers. They'll probably look to Tawny Burgess to get them somewhere. As you can see, she's directing them.
I noticed on the last play, Tawny Burgess defensively was not involved. She was limping, and the gap there for Tola Liku managed to run through Burgess. So injury could be creating havoc. She's there or thereabouts in attack. You can see her with the strapping on the right leg. The Vipers targeting down the right-hand side. She's got some pace. She's big and strong. Oxford the middle, missed tackle all the way under the posts. Saracen Oliver in the number 1 jersey. Outstanding stuff. One outplay. Made a mockery of the Arakana defence momentarily and is rewarded with the 4-pointer. Rugby League on show here this afternoon. What a great play. 2 tries today for the speedster. Exposed the weakness down the right, held the ball on the right-hand side. She had to make the tackle, did Toala Liku, on the back of scoring before, but denied the try. Couldn't make the tackle, and it was Saracen Oliver that made it all the way through. Great rugby league from the Vipers, and they fight back.
She came from Orcas, and she came in to make a real impact for the Vipers, and it's clearly showing right now that she's doing just that. That was an incredible run on the edge.
So she's hanging in there is Tawny Burgess, the halfback from the Vipers. She'll kick with the left leg, which is the one not strapped. We have a game on our hands, rugby league fans. Enjoy the show. No black dot, but pretty close to it. So 2 points go to the Vipers, and they fight their way back into this match. Akarana leading the Mid-Central Vipers 18-16. You can see this try 15 times. It's beautiful. Pace, strength. Nice run on the inside. Didn't have to step at all. And a one-on-one tackle is always very difficult for a fullback to make, especially when you've got Saracen Oliver charging through like that. So both sides will have to lift their games defensively. The Falcons came out early in this second half and dominated proceedings in defence and also in attack, but now the Vipers have hit back. Which side wants it the most? I wonder if it will come down to fitness and conditioning. The kickoff there from Albert Jones. The Vipers in the dark jerseys running on your screen from left to right, from the mid-central zonal area of rugby league, Manawatu and Taranaki. A few Wellington players in there as well, trying to make up the numbers. So how will the Falcons go now at defending? A spring in the step, a momentum change for the Vipers. Changes are happening.
It looks like we're getting a few cramps on the field.
Adele,
2 Akarana players down with cramp at the moment.
Adele Edmonds from the Central Vipers has come on. She's an Hawke's Bay player in her second year of rugby league. She's got plenty of pace, but the errors are creeping into the game now. So that will come back to haunt the Vipers, not protecting possession like they should have. What they need is field position, and that will be given right now to the Falcons. So a roller coaster ride for both sides. We've had a lead of change 3 times between Akarana and also Mid-Central. At the moment, it is the North Auckland zonal team leading by 2 points. Aiko, they're being treated maybe for cramp, as you mentioned, Jules. Might need the pickle juice.
Yeah, get the pickle juice out. Mind you, after that run that she did, I'm not surprised she's got cramp.
She's worked very hard this afternoon as the 20-year-old law student. She's been exceptionally impressive. Stick around, rugby league fans. We've got more action after this game. Shortly after, it'll be Waikato versus South Island in the under-20s competition, the new breed of rugby league players. There's some sensational players out there. They are young and fit and fast. Let's see if there's an injury in there to the leg. Looks like she went down with cramp.
She'll take some magic water and she'll be right as rain.
Nothing in this game at the moment. Jules, do you see one side dominating at this stage?
I reckon at the moment it's pretty even. Like, it evens out looking at both attack and defence for Akarana and Vipers. What I would like to see, though, is Akarana really hitting Vipers' right side, because they seem to be a little bit weaker on defence there compared to their left side.
Akarana at this stage have been opting to use some of their quicker players up the middle to expose a weakness from the defence of the Vipers, and that has worked for them. Let's see if they can send it out wide on attack and score some points. Great to see the fans here at the Trust Stadium in Tamaki Makaurau. Great afternoon of rugby league with the Sky Sport Women's Premiership and the under-20s action to follow shortly after. This Women's Premiership League, an opportunity for so many of these players to try and impress selectors for the Kiwi Ferns test, hopefully in October. And remember, it is World Cup year. So for those players that are competing in Australia, we might even get a chance to see Mila Vili, the 25-year-old, make an impact on this game. She likes to play very versatile. She can play in the scrum and the hooking role, or she's got some pace out wide as well. I think she represented Samoa at one stage and was involved in that wider Kiwi Ferns squad. Be great to see her out. Might be an opportunity for Steve Buckingham to inject her into the game. Would you call her out?
Yeah, she's still developing as a really good player, Mila. It'll be interesting to see how Bucky plays her in the Akarana side.
So up by 2 are Akaranga. I'd like to cement a little more authority on this match, and to do that they get possession. CK has been injected back into the match for Butler, so Harata Butler gets the spell, the 28-year-old. She's worked hard. She's still out there.
Yeah, she has worked really hard. She's took a little bit of time off to focus on herself and her well-being, and it looks like it's paying off right now. She's making some good yardage.
Takes 4 players to take her down. That is
She's one strong player.
One determined runner. So they go right, like Jules Newman suggested they should, and it might pay dividends. Safe play from Akarana at this stage. The defence is answering all questions from the Vipers. Looking for a gap in the middle. That was Kahurina Cassidy, the captain of the side. Short dummy half run, straight over the line, and the referee says that'll be a decent 4-pointer for the Falcons. Yep, the referee says that was a decent enough try for us, and just as we talked about Milavili being injected into the game and making a difference, look at that, she darts from dummy half.
Yep, she just saw the opportunity, jumped over the line, put some 4 points on the table. Happy days.
She's just 25 of age and is a very hungry rugby league player. She loves to get her hands on the ball as much as possible, and you'll often see her darting from dummy half midway through the second half and the defence tiring. That's when she says, I'll take advantage. There was no marker defence because it's getting very difficult to get up and defend at this stage of the game. Conditioning is a massive factor and fitness is as well.
Doesn't seem to be as windy today as it was yesterday for Counties and Canterbury.
There are 4 zonal teams in the competition playing round-robin matches for the next 3 weeks, culminating with a final on Easter Saturday. Decent kick, great stuff. The flags go up. Very impressive stuff. So asserting some authority on this match are the Falcons. They lead Mid-Central now 24-16. They will receive the ball from the kickoff. Clever play, wasn't it? Very clever play from Mila Vili. So the Vipers have the ball and they need position and possession. That they don't have at the moment. Receiving the ball will be the Falcons, who are on fire in the second half of this clash, dominating proceedings, first of all defensively in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. A couple of barnstorming runs from Milicia and also Paikor, and some attacking play from their bench players. Opted for the shorter kick, who was there, but the one and only. What a game from Leishon Albert-Jones. The 24-year-old certainly has controlled this game very well for the Falcons.
This is a player we need to watch out for, Clementine Vera. She's, as we can see, she's quite a strong runner.
A beautiful name, Clementine Varia, 31 years of age. Has an affiliation with Fetu.
Yeah. I don't know about, I'm quite sure with that one, but she comes from Glenora. They play in the championship grade. She'll be one player to develop.
Not respecting the ball are the Falcons, surrendering possession. So the Vipers with a chance to hit back. They need points and they'll need them soon. They won't be going for any kicks at goal. They'll need a try. They're just out of a conversion try away from the match. So what they need to do is cross that dotted line as soon as possible. They receive possession, compliments of a penalty. Decide to take the kick. Get some yards on the side. Needs to find Tart, only just did. So here come the Vipers in the black jerseys on your screens from left to right. Tawny Burgess, their halfback, has been injured, has the strapping on her right knee there. She'll make some yards first of all and see if they can set up something pretty down the left-hand side. Captain is looking for charges. Maniapua is the fullback, number 21. She'll be sweeping around the edges looking for a short ball. Wharaimor with the ball in hand. Defence is up to it.
Good defence from Akarana.
Defence has been outstanding from Akarana in the second half. Steve Buckingham obviously said something to the troops, to the women in his team, and said if you come out and tackle hard, you'll put tremendous pressure. Got to win that arm wrestle. Don't shy away, stay in the grind and see what comes out of it. So they get possession now and leading by 8 points. There's been some outstanding performances from this very young Akarana Falcons side. Plenty of changes to the lineup. Beautiful play. Here we go, breaking through the line, looking for support. No knock on. Picked up nicely by Duplessis. She can clip it. They had to make that tackle to shut her down.
There was a good run from Mania Keynes.
Here come the Falcons down the right-hand side. Decent, clean rugby league. The Vipers struggling to get back on side, looking very laboured on their defensive line. The holes are there. Great tackle from the Vipers. Here come Falcons down the left, looking again for Varia. Clementine is drawing a whole lot of attention here at the Waitakere. So quick hands down to the left. This is where they look nice. This is where it's slick. And that is a great crunching tackle from the Vipers. Great stuff from Adele Edmonds. She's only just come on the pitch. It was inspirational to tackle the opposition like that. They go to Albert-Jones. She goes up high. She's notorious for the good bomb. The chasers are there. Can she get it down over the line, trying to hold her up? The referee's got good side. He says you did not get the ball down.
How well has Artai been playing today? She's everywhere.
Just 20 years of age is Artai. I'm loving the high bomb from Albert-Jones. She has worked on that over the years. It's become her signature kick. The chase was good, but the Vipers had to work hard to hold her up over the line. There's plenty of dissension in the ranks. No doubt the Falcons said they got it down and the Vipers said she didn't. So still an 8-point game. Mid-Central trailing by 8 points to the Falcons. Very good defence from the Falcons, including Jenna Marmia. One of the Richmond Roses truthful out there. I think there might be 8 Richmond players in this Falcons lineup, ranging in age from 19 through to 31. That defence is inspirational from the Falcons. The great Jack Gibson says defence wins games, and at the moment Akarana are listening to that advice. No way through for the Vipers. They're going to have to keep it like a hot potato, spread it and try and see if there's opportunities by keeping the ball alive. What can they do with the ball? They go to their skipper, puts the ball through on the left-hand side.
Good take from Duplessis.
She was under pressure, always hungry for the retaliation of ball in hand. She'll always make some yards, and when it's one-on-one, you can pretty well back Duplessis for winning the contest.
See Artima here take a hit up. Good to see the metres that she'll make. Really strong runner. It's 3 people to take her down.
That's what the Falcons need, are strong runners. They all want the ball. Great communication from the Falcons. Double cutout pass down the right-hand side. With support play from the Falcons, they keep it alive. They're not making the tackles, the Vipers. Great rugby league all round on show at the Trust Stadium. Nice deep set, decide to go left, asking questions of the defenders. A spring in their step at the moment, thanks to Nancy CK. She plays the ball pretty quick. Finally, in support this time, the ball will not be held up and over the line. She charges her way through, allows herself a small celebration, a beautiful smile. Great Star Falcons.
Yeah, and that all stems right back to the run that Artai did. Popped it into Malaysia, who got us some yardage, and then we were able to work through the middle and then pop it on to Clementine to finish.
What impact player Clementine Vardia has been, the 31-year-old. Such a difficult player to stop.
Where do you even, like, how would you even attack to tackle her?
You're the Kiwi, Fern. You're the Kiwi, Fern, buddy.
I hope for the best.
The captain there from Mid-Central, Mani Apua, the number 21, had the tough task of trying to shut down Clementine Vardia. Task indeed.
It would be good to see Akarana use Clementine, because we can see that she's breaking through the line, to have those support runners that just off her shoulder so she can pop the ball, because I reckon we some tries off with her.
It's something that maybe Steve Buckingham and Tash Davey will work hard at over the coming weeks as this competition continues. It's a round-robin tournament, is the Sky Sport Women's Premiership. New Zealand Rugby League brings it to you. 4 zonal teams playing in a round-robin competition with a final heading your way in April on the 16th. So decent kick also from Tatiana Fino. Great celebration at the end of that try. Clementine Vardia, who was a criminologist, basically said to the opposing captain, Mani Apua, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna score a try and you cannot stop me. Asserting their authority on this game are the Akarana Falcons. Took them a while to wind up, but in the second half they came out with some crunching defence. Let their intentions known that they wanted to dominate the game. And at the moment, Mid-Central and the dark jerseys are having to find something very special indeed to try and claw their way back into this game. Who do they turn to? What can they do to try and win the match?
They need to not waste their attacking opportunities. As we can see, they're just doing the single one-ups or the drop passes. I reckon they have the speed and they have the power out on the edges to create space. And we've seen that today. Them putting on points is from the edges.
So the option for the short kick from mid-central might come back to haunt them on the third tackle, and already the Falcons are within their own attacking half. Falcons want the ball in hand, and they've got several players hungry for it. One of them is Clementine Vardia. We saw her score the try. Someone has to have a go at her around the legs. Who can do it? Who can shut it down? Support play from the Falcons. What a try. What great rugby league. Lavinia Tohalaliku, the 22-year-old, in support of Clementine Vardia. The message has gone out. If you get the ball, just get it to Clem.
Exactly. As I mentioned before. And what do you know? I feel like I just manifested that try for Akarana.
Let's take another look at this one. Can't afford to try and tackle a player that strong, that powerful, high. This time, Maria Poor, the captain from mid-central, said, I'm going to get you. I'll take you for the legs. A lovely smile from Clementine Vardia, and she said, don't worry, I have Lavinia in support of me. Great support play, beautiful rugby league, exceptional defence from Poor, but there was nothing else she could do to stop the points from the Falcons. That's the rugby league we are used to seeing from Akarana. Smiles all round from the players and the support team. Another 2 points, compliments of Tatiana Fino.
How good's Fino's kicking been since she's come on board?
You'll watch this 28,000 times. Great charge, beautiful cover defence from the captain. Legs and all, goes down. Exceptional support play. Something about Clementine Vardia's game is definitely her line speed. She's a strong runner.
really fast for a prop. Exceptional player.
Her line speed has been on show today. A daunting task now for the Vipers. They'll be pretty sure that after 2 tackles, they'll give the ball to number 22, Clementine Vardia, the 31-year-old. And if that happens, someone has to find a way to try to cut her down, which isn't an easy task at all. Akarana leading mid-central 36-6. Hadamaya finds her way out onto the pitch. Let's see what the Falcons do with it now, Jules.
Oh. Just off the mark.
Just the second tackle coming up for the Falcons. Support play.
Another strong run from Butler.
Very good.
Set a solid game today.
Arata Butler will be putting her hand up for player of the match. She's been very, very consistent. She's just come on for the captain, Kahu Cassidy, who gets a spell. She's been very consistent and tireless in both attack and defence. So plenty of options here from the Falcons. Got one clopped on the lips, I think. Non-intentional, but the referee did see it. Nice sporting spirit from both sides to apologise for the non-intentional hit. So Falcons with all the possession and all the position.
Yeah, this will be a great time for them to reset, get some composure.
Clementine wants the ball. She's sneaking in there, number 22 for the Falcons.
Oh, rips from Harata Butler. Paul, why am I not surprised? She's nitty-gritty, that one.
She is a very clever young player, is Paris Paul from the Vipers. It was sneaky play. Not many people can steal a ball from Harata Butler, but a lesson to be learned there for so many players that you need to hang on to it really hard. And when it's one-on-one, there's an opportunity for it to go the other way. The Vipers, what can they do? There's Clementine Vardia making the tackle now. Supported very well by Melania Cairns.
Yeah, we saw earlier Melania, she did that break through the middle. She's been a really good impact off the bench.
Vipers looking to create inroads up the middle. No way through. Might have been careless with the handling and lost the ball, but the referee says, in between another cramping issue, That is a bad cramp. That takes a lot of pickle juice and some magnesium, I think. That's a tough one, that one. Play must go on. We won't have any more stoppages for the cramps, says the referee. And there we have it. That is full time here for the Sky Sports Women's Premiership. Glory goes to Akarana, defeating the Mid-Central Vipers. So we're going to have one more play. A chance for the Vipers to hit back. Nice chip over the top. Lovely bounce. Exceptional work from the Vipers. Do they get it over the line? Sachin Oliver chasing her third try in the game. And I think the referee says, we'll give it. What a great play. What a great play from the Vipers. Never give up until the match is absolutely over. Sachin Oliver chasing her hat-trick of tries. And the referee says, no, you didn't get the ball down. Looked good from the Vipers, though.
What a good opportunity, though.
Looked good from the Vipers, but the defence was there from the Falcons. So great chance when we thought the game was over for a one last play, but in the end it is the Akarana Falcons defeating Mid-Central 36 points to 16. Jules, what a second half that was from both sides. Impressive rugby league.
Well, it was evident that they got rid of their cobwebs from the first half. But looking at the second half, so much crisper, a lot faster. We got to actually see work of the forwards and the backs and just the fluidity across the paddock.
Let's talk about some of those bench players and the effect they had on the game from the Falcons. It was impressive from several of their players that injected themselves into the match, especially Harata Butler.
Yeah, Harata had a really good game today, but I expect nothing less from her. She's always leads by example. But even the likes of Gina Marmia, I was really impressed with her. You know, she's a player that's you can rely on, whether she's starting or coming off the bench. Even Melania Keynes, you know, she made a really good break through the middle. She was always there for those quick play the balls off the ruck. And to finish off with Mila Villi, we saw her capitalise as hooker and touch over the line.
Hats off to the Rugby League Vipers. They did exceptionally well throughout the match and was certainly competitive and within 2 points at several stages. What impressed you most about that side? We'll first of all get some reflection from the captain from the Falcons. Will be speaking to us very shortly, just having a quick drink. But yeah, the Vipers were good out there today.
Yeah, I'm really impressed, but don't expect anything less from Tawny Burgess. And, you know, she really led from the front today. She was carrying an injury until the last 70 minutes. But her connection with Paris Paul at hooker, phenomenal.
Okay, let's get some reflection from the captain of the Falcons, Kahu Cassidy.
Congratulations, Kahu. Game one under your belt. You've had a win. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I think the team did really well. It's been a long time coming, and I'm just glad we got some footy under our belt.
Good. First half was a bit of an arm wrestle. You were down at half time, albeit just by a couple of points. What did you do better in the second half?
I think just for us, we were just finding our connections. We're all from different regions. Some of us from Waikato, the rest right across Auckland, and yeah, just finding those connections, and I think we did well.
There's some challenges there, isn't there, bringing players together from a vast area? How difficult is it for you to get a game together with that sort of challenge ahead of you?
I think it's all about the levels, the levels that we have like down in the Waikato. It's not much of a higher level footy as we get up here in Auckland, so making that trip up here is just what we have to do to, you know, to move forward, you know.
You've got Canterbury away next week. What are your work-ons ahead of that game?
Again, same things, finding our connections, working on our game plans, shaking off all those cobwebs, and yeah.
Well done, congratulations.
Thank you.
Kahu Cassidy there, a very mobile player, captain for Akaranga, even though she is on debut. Expect to see bigger and brighter things from her in the future. She played very well.
She played really well, and she's one of those players that it won't be long for her to get into that black jersey.
Time to hear from Mania Poa, the captain of Mid-Central.
Mania, you've had a defeat in round one. Where was it lost for you today?
I think it's just challenging
we all live in different districts, and really this is the first game of footy for the season, so we can only build from here, and first run together as a full team as well. Challenging, but lots of positives and heaps to work on.
It's obviously something that a lot of teams have to deal with in this competition, drawing players from far and wide. How do you and how does your team overcome those challenges?
I think it's the same for every team, like do the best that you can through comms. It's not quite the same, but once we get to training, just switch on and work from there.
Looking back at the game, it was a close first half. You were ahead. You must be able to take plenty of positives from that first half performance. What have you got?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think our defence was really strong. Fitness was probably a big one for both teams. Like I said, we haven't had a game of footy, so just getting game fitness back up and just work on it.
It doesn't get any easier for you. You've got a tough game against counties next week. Your work-ons?
I mean, across the board, probably our attack, just getting our fringes in more involved. We've got heaps of talent and young ones out wide, so getting them early touches on the ball. But just defence, muscle up through the middle.
Hard luck today. Better luck next week.
Oh, thank you.
A very good leader and an exceptional communicator is Mania Poya, but reigning supreme today at the Trust Stadium in Waitakere are the Auckland Akarana Falcons. They dominated proceedings in the second half and will continue on their merry way. Thank you so much for joining us here at Sky Sport. The victory goes to the Falcons 36-16, but on show with some magnificent rugby league, and make sure you stay with us. Later on this afternoon, you've got the under-20s action, which will be heading your way, and this tournament will continue for many weeks to come. On behalf of myself and Jules Newman, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to bring you more rugby league in the future. Have a lovely weekend.
Hang on, mate, you've got my wallet on me now.